Hi, fashion dolls. It is Thankful Thursday, January 25th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Now, I typically don't do my show this early. I typically start my shows at 4 p.m. Eastern every day. But for my girl, I had to make an exception because she is at work. But joining me today, we have one of my good girlfriends and her business partner for her company, Concrete Rose. Without further ado, let's welcome my girl, Stephanie. Mm, Let me see something. And yesterday's show, in case you guys missed it, we had Keith Boykin on the show, and it was a great interview. My DM was filled with messages from you guys. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the interview. Now, let's see what our girl is up to. Hey,
Hey,
girl.
hey, let me adjust this camera. Get it right, get it tight. I might have to come closer. Okay, there we go. That's probably good. Hey,
Hey, how have
can you
you
hear me?
been? Yes, I can hear you
Oh my
perfectly.
God. I've been good, amazing, busy, and just doing well. Yes, a lot of neat things been going on, as you know. I don't want to talk too much about Concrete Rose yet. I kind of want to wait for time, but everything's been going great.
Now, since we last spoke, because we text off and on, we've been texting throughout the New Year's, throughout the holidays and stuff. Like, this
Yeah,
is my friend, you guys. She's known me for a very long time. So,
yeah.
what have you been up to since the move to NC? Like, we are close from each other.
We are very close and we got to link up ASAP.
Yeah.
But what have I been doing? So since I moved out here, I love to dance. Dancing is something that I've always done. For the first year out here, I spent a lot of time trying to find dance groups and dance teams, which there's a lot of majorette in the South. They're big on majorette, which I love that. Um, but I'm more into like hip hop and Afro beats. So trying to find that culture was really hard. So I said, I gotta start creating my own stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm not finding it here. So, I spent about a year making connections and just finding people who are interested in that style of dance. And so I linked up with someone and I was able to rent out a studio. Yay. So got our own space, kind of, yep. And started teaching youth dance classes. So putting on showcases, doing visuals. We're gonna start doing competitive next season. Yeah, we're gonna be battling. So we're excited about that.
I can't wait. And the videos you've been posting, your son is out there getting active. He's grown so big since the
Um,
last I saw him. And he is out there getting active with the other kids. What is it like to keep your family balanced out and going?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's been really hard, girl. To be honest, my day typically starts at 6. I work at a daycare. I start at the daycare, then I go to an after school program, and then usually my boys have boxing, wrestling, or dance. So they're into three things right now. So we usually don't get home until 8:30, 9 p.m. And then I still got to cook dinner, do homework, get them to bed. So I'm still trying to figure out a balance because it's a lot. It's a lot.
I was telling my guest that Monday, Shayla, when I interviewed
Mhm.
her, I said it is a balance with being a mom and running
Yes,
your businesses and then work. It is definitely a balance. And the Charlie Feeling says creating your own movement is a good idea. And shout outs to Jake Evans. Make sure you
yes,
guys go
Charlie.
on over and subscribe to his platform. He does a lot of reviews on Bell Collective. And if you are also into Love and Marriage Huntsville, check out his channel. He does a lot of reviews and has sat with some of the biggest names in the industry. So he says, you ladies look beautiful. Thank you so much, my
Thank
love.
you.
Now,
So Charlie down there, when I lived back in Mass, we met through work, and he is also a very creative dancer. He taught me a lot of house, so that's an example of just like meeting people and networking. Yeah. So shout outs to you.
Now, what was it like doing that move from Mass to NC? Because down here in the Carolinas in the South is a completely different than Mass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm still adjusting. I really am. Oh, I like it here. I do miss the city. It's just, like I said, trying to find things that I like. It's not a lot of big dance culture down here, surprisingly. Or maybe I have to go to South Carolina or Charlotte or Raleigh, but here in this little old town of Wilson, it's not too much going on. So, but it's nice in the sense that I get to create my own
Yeah.
lanes. You know what I mean? Because back in the city, there was so much to offer and everybody's kind of competing. So I kind of have my own lane, own space here. And I like that. I really like that.
Teach.
The weather's beautiful. The people are nice,
That's that,
well mannered.
that's that Southern hospitality, girl. You're going to get it
I
when you
love
come down
it.
here to the Carolinas.
I love it. Yes, ma'am.
T2MGE says, look at that glow looking good, Steph.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, friend.
Now, 2024, how does it feel to be in this new year? Because you were one of the ones I said, everybody texted me for the New Year's, and I woke up and I seen your text where you was texting me. What is it
Uh-huh.
like to be in the year 24? Like, we're almost at the end of this month.
Yeah, oh, it feels good. Blessed to see another year. Thank you, God. Um, I'm just ready to take over this year, and I know you are too with your show. And I'm just ready, girl, like to step out and not be fearful. Because sometimes you hold your own self back
Come
when
on.
you're like, am I that type of person who's actually going to be a millionaire and own this? You doubt yourself. No self doubt this year. I'm just moving forward and doing everything that I want to do without that fear and questioning myself. So, yes. Bring on 2024.
Absolutely. And T2MGE says, you always looking good. Look at that beautiful smile. You go, girl.
Oh God. XOXO.
Listen.
Thank you.
And you said everything that I was just about to say because I put it on my vision board. I said, this is the year. This is our season, and we
Hmm.
are going to dominate 2024. I did
That's
not
right.
imagine that this show would kick off as a success for season 18 because I told you, I said, we're going into season 18 and I got to have you on the show. And I booked
Yes.
her way ahead in advance. She texted me, she said, I'm working on something. So I can't wait for her business partner to get here so that we can get right into it. This is my first time meeting
Right.
her business partner. She's told me a little bit about her, but
Hmm.
everybody that I've met through my girl here has been a total sweetheart, and been so good to me
Yes.
coming on the platform. She's brought a lot of guests on with me for the past seasons as well too. So to see her flourish with her brand because she's been working so hard, and I've been scrolling down Instagram because I see everything. I don't comment, but I see it, girl, and I give you a like or I share it to the group. But I say, yeah, she's doing the thing, and I've seen you out here with your son and the family, and it's all coming together. So I'm very, very
Yeah.
proud of you. I can't see it enough.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I'm so proud of you too. So proud of you too, sis. I do have to say this woman right here is committed. Gotta give her flowers because she does not miss a day. Someone said to me the other day, Miss Stevie's still doing her show. I said, yes, faithfully, day in, day out. It doesn't matter, sick, whatever. She is here. Okay. And that's commitment. And I love that. And I commend you, sis. And I am
Oh,
proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
and every day I
Yes.
don't even want to be getting up in the morning to do it, but I do it. I said I
Right.
can't let anybody down. I have to. I don't care if I got a cold or allergy. I'm coming on and I'm gonna do this interview. But you ain't gonna tell that I'm sick, but I'm gonna do this interview.
That part,
Yeah,
exactly.
I fight through it. And the dedication, she's known me from the beginning when I first started on Live Me. And a lot of
Yeah.
people have reached out to me from that platform.
Oh, wow.
And are you coming back on there? Are you coming back because they missed the content on there? But I said I've moved on to
Right.
bigger and better
And
things.
better.
It was great on there too now. She knows me very, very well. She knows I used to
Oh
dig in the
yeah,
30 bag. I'll be like, I'm gonna get you. But
that's
but
right.
I changed a lot. I'm like, when you hit 30, you see a whole different mindset. And I said, I want better for myself and my family. And so did she. She went
Hmm.
out and she branched off and
Yes.
created her own brand, the Bomb Lashes. And she sent me some
Yep.
gloss. I still have the lashes and the gloss that you sent me. And my mom took one
Oh,
from me. So yeah, mommy took
awesome.
one from me, girl.
Share it. Yes.
Yeah, she got one. She said, "Let me see what that is. What's that? Oh, that's a pretty." And then she started putting it on her lips. Loved it.
Oh,
So
awesome. I'm glad she loved it. That's so cool. Yeah, but that's an example of branching out too, because like as an entrepreneur, I feel like, I did have the bomb lashes and all that, but like it changes over time. You gotta pivot sometimes, if
yeah,
one thing's not working out too good, you try something else, and don't be scared to rebrand yourself and try new things is what I'm learning. And Taisha just got here. Yay! So we're gonna give her a minute to get settled in because we're on the third floor. So once you get to the top, you need a minute.
ooh, stairs, girl.
But yes. Oh, here she comes. Let's try to readjust this camera so we can both.
Hello, good
Ah,
afternoon. Good afternoon.
Welcome, welcome to the dollhouse.
Good
Ty.
afternoon.
It's a pleasure to meet you, my love.
Nice to meet you too. You look so beautiful.
Thank you. You do too. With that curly hair, I'm envious, girl. Yes.
right.
So let's get right into it. My girl Steph has been working on a project, and I've been sworn to secrecy when she said, "You can't say nothing about it yet. I got to come on the show and talk about it." I want these two beautiful ladies here, my girls, to talk about it in Girl Talk today. So, what have you ladies been working on? Tell us about Concrete Rose.
I'm gonna let Ty kinda because this really was kind of her brainchild.
So, Concrete Rose is honestly just something to empower families to engage with one another. And the name Concrete Rose actually comes from
Ooh,
Stephanie and I coming from major big cities and coming to this small town in Wilson, North Carolina. And we're like roses from the concrete that blossomed, and we both have the same goal as far as wanting to engage with families and wanting to provide more programs. So as far as like Concrete Rose, it's more of like a family empowerment thing. And like right now, Concrete Rose is, I know Stephanie's doing her dance thing and I'm
Mhm.
doing my poetry thing. So Concrete Rose is basically to empower your creativity.
Mhm.
What you want to do, you embrace it, you go for it, and that's what we I guess that's like
Yeah.
our goal. You
Yeah.
know, you want to do something, you go for it, you embrace it,
Yeah.
and you live unapologetically.
absolutely.
Yeah. So they better be out here.
And Ty Asia, I've known this woman right here sitting to your left. Well, opposite is on opposite sides on my end, but I've known this
Yeah.
woman for a very, 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 very long time. And she's been very passionate and persistent about what she does, whether it's dance, whether it's the beauty line. Steph has always been the one to branch out and do things. Ever since I'll never forget the day I first met her, and that is through a mutual friend. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Dre, Sir Gemini, if you watch this. I
If you
met
in
her
here.
through him, and I fell in love with her ever since. I would always go on her lives, and she'd be dancing, she'd be cooking, she'd be working with the kids, she'd be doing different things. And
I would be.
I fell in love with her ever since. So for you two to link up, this is going to be an explosion of girl power, and I can see it in the future.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Because Tasia we match each other's energy. Like you were
Yeah.
saying, when you make those connections, you just know. We met through work and we kind of just went out one day for lunch and sat down and just the ideas just started flowing, the connections. So we're excited. We're brainstorming a whole bunch of new stuff for the summer. Last summer, we did a few events. We did a back to school backpack drive. Um,
We did a fall festival.
Yep, outdoor movie night.
Mhm.
And we did a craft day where kids can come, get dropped off. We had snacks. There was basketball. We were doing all types of arts and
Mhm.
crafts. It was really nice.
And what I love about this brand, Concrete Rose, is that the mission of it is to promote family interactive experiences. So it's about
Mhm.
bringing families together from these events. You get them in social groups and you create these events for them to bond and educate them. And not only
Yeah.
that, but children nowadays, I have a nephew now, and I think I told Steph about it. I have a nephew now. He's already starting to suck his thumb. So these babies nowadays, once they get past that baby stage and they get into their teen years, it's video games. It's video games, it's
Yep.
Fortnite, it's all of these things and technology. But what I love is that Steph got her son, he's got Desi out there moving. Whereas the kids nowadays, they don't want to go outside and play or get active. They would rather sit inside on the video games. So that's what I love is that you're not only getting the kids involved, but you're getting the parents involved to be hands-on with the kids as well too.
Yes.
Tied up and working
Mhm.
all. They got a day off. Play with your kids. Take them out to do something fun in the yard.
Mhm.
Staying active and staying
Absolutely.
healthy.
Mhm. And that's where we kind of got the idea from as far as like working with the youth out here because we work at this after school and we noticed that like you said they're on technology and as they get older
Mhm.
there's less and less things for them to do but be on technology or but to I don't want to say it but to go out and get in trouble so
Right.
we wanted to create something because in our city there's not much to do
At
for
all.
older kids. So we're like, okay, what do older kids want, or what do kids want, or what do families
Was
want?
one.
And we just decided like, okay, well, what do we want? We want our
Mhm.
kids to, we want a playground, we want this, we want to
Mhm.
do after school activities, weekend activities,
Yep.
and it came, it came together.
It did. Yep. And affordable stuff.
Yes.
Everything's so expensive. Like, you got to think about where we actually live. And, a lot of families have a lot of kids, but aren't able to afford a $10 event when they have 5 kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we try to offer free events as much as we can. That's the goal for all families to be active and engaged. And Tyasia has a really cool website or an Instagram page.
Yes.
Tell
It's
them about it.
a part of Concrete Rose is Meet the Curlies. If you notice, so it's a family lifestyle blog that provides free affordable activities for children and their families. So we go into like science, we go into acting, we go into recipes, we go into all different type of things, and I try to find local things in the neighborhood for families to do. And I started this in New York City, so now I'm trying to find things in North Carolina for families to do with Meet the Curlies.
I love that.
And what else I love about you, Thais, is that you've been at the New York State Mentoring Program. Now, you guys have heard of Denzel Washington, the Boys and Girls Club, and things like that. We need more programs like this for our youth. And I know someone else, and I brought him on the show, and he talked about educating the youth and make sure that they keep their head on the right path if they want to go into the modeling world. DeWitt, you guys remember DeWitt? Yes, the beautiful DeWitt. If you know, you know. He came on the platform and he does something similar as well too. He's a teacher, so he works with a lot of kids as well too. So it's important that we keep our children, especially for us within the African American community, that we keep our children on the right path, making sure that they're doing everything that we need to do, especially down here with being in the Carolinas, because we're both in the Carolinas, it's very limited options. But we need more programs like this to keep our children on the right path.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
And you're also a mentor for the Many Misses program at the spot. How important is it for young girls to have you can look at the screen here for because I know parents watch my platform as well too. And you
Hmm.
can see three beautiful black women and we all are
Yes, sir.
accomplished in our own way. So how important is it, Steph and Taisha, for young girls and young boys who are looking up to us to see representation? Because we talk a lot about it here on my platform.
It's definitely very important. We see it a lot here at our job, where we could just, look at a kid and be like,
Yeah.
they need a role model. They need a big sister, a big brother, and we do what we can, but it's only two of
Yeah.
us. And especially with the young men here, there's not a lot of male teachers. So we would love to, if anyone's interested in reaching out and wanting to become a big brother, we would love to incorporate that because these baby boys need it. The girls need it, but these young men really need it.
Mhm. Mhm. And representation is very important because it just shows you more. Like just me as a kid growing up, just going back to certain things I didn't see, and I'm like, okay, now as an adult, I see it more. So it boosts your confidence because it shows you like you can also do it. Because honestly, like nothing is off limits.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing is
And
out
what else?
of reach.
And what
Mhm.
else I love about you, Tyasia, is that I read the story, the information that my girl Steph sent me, and I was
Thank you.
I was I was fascinated instantly. You've worked in a double major in criminology and human services and counseling youth, lawyers, youth offenders. So it's important because so many of our young boys and girls grow up in the system of foster care. And they're looking, some of them don't have homes. They don't have, like my girl Steph here just said, uh, a role model, an authority figure, especially young black men out here. Now, I'm not a mom, I'm an aunt. So there's only so many things for us as the authority figures, the moms, the aunts, the uncles, the dads, well, not the dads, but the other family members who can teach their children, out here the right
Mhm,
way to go. It's very,
mhm,
very important.
mhm.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yep. So that's definitely our goal with Concrete Rose is to get more mentors out there, and just bring families together and let them know that there is resources out
Right,
there.
right, because that's like she said, that's the perfect word, resources. We need resources, we need support, and honestly, we just want to be reliable and consistent because
Hmm.
that's also a major problem
Yeah.
is the consistency and the reliability when it
Hmm.
comes to these programs and just different things like that for youth and families.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And the number of kids who do not have phones, do not have homes, black children, it's amazing. And not in a good way.
Hmm.
Like these children need love, they need care, they need somebody who is going to be like an authority figure to them, a role model who's going to
Right.
steer them in the right direction. And that is important because a lot of people just like, well, I don't want to adopt it. Well, you've never known what someone's story is unless you sit and you talk to them. And these children need that in this
Hmm.
day and age, especially the ones that are
Yep.
all that are like in their teen years. They don't have parents as well too. And they need someone to steer them in the right direction. The younger ones as well too. And it's
Hmm.
amazing how technology is now taking over our children, but with this program here, you're now getting them involved, getting them hands-on within the
Yes.
community to do things and building those
Yep.
strong family gaps within the black family system, which is very, very important. Now, another thing is you published a poem in the fall 2021 Association of Children Council. Girl, tell us about that.
So yes, I became a published poet through the National Associations of Children's Council, speaking on my experience of how lawyers helped me navigate my experience through the foster care system, and now I am a Amazon published poet on. I am a published poet on Amazon. You can find my book on Amazon. She was, but I am. That's the name of the poem by Thunder Love. Yeah, so like I just used my experience to write poetry, and it's just storytelling. I find it easier, like you said, like finding other ways to help express, and that's how we get to the
Yeah.
children also. Like Stephanie is an amazing dancer and they love to dance, and that's her expression, and like poetry and writing is my expression, and then we put it together and it's like we kind of cured mental health.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they complement each other because they're both art. And art is to
Mhm.
You guys know that I'm a big Steph knows it, and everybody knows that I'm a big fashion
Mhm.
girl. I'm going to quote Alexander McQueen. Art is to evoke emotion. So there are so many ways that we can express ourselves,
Mhm.
and it can be through fashion, it can be through writing. I love to write as well too. Uh, Art is so many ways that you can go out here and put whatever it is on your mind to creation and just let it flow. I like to let the creativity flow. And that would be my advice to you out here as well, too, that is watching this girl talk, is that you put your creativity to the test. And to the parents out here that are watching as well, to let your child decide what they want to do when they grow up. If they want to get into acting, if they want to get into dance, if they want to get into theater, there's so many programs. And what baffles me is that there aren't enough programs on to help children get into acting or dramatic
Yeah.
art. There's you got to put more of them in the school system because there's so many out here that want to sing, that want to dance, that want to paint,
So
that
play,
want to do
yep,
art.
Stay tuned because we actually may be cooking up something
yep, a
with
play.
like our, our job. Hopefully it
Hmm.
comes together.
Yeah, she's so excited about this
I am.
play. But yes, we're hoping to fill in some of those gaps that
Hmm.
you were just talking about and just bring back those programs. So we definitely need people on board. You guys reach out to our Instagram page. We have, what do we have? Instagram
And
and
Facebook, right?
Facebook and email right
Hmm.
now. We're working on a website, but let us know what you want to come to the city,
Hmm.
what kind of programs you think are needed and resources, and we're here to fill
Hmm.
in those gaps and try to
And
make it
we
work.
really encourage people from big cities to, put their input because,
Hmm.
like we said, we know what it's like to come from a big city and to see the difference. Like, honestly, I can say it was like a environmental shock,
Oh
like,
yeah,
coming from a big city to a small town. And, we do want to provide those resources
yeah.
here with, what we have.
Hmm.
And it's important because our youth out here doesn't have anything like that. Whereas if they go to college, is there, master dramatic
Hmm.
arts. There's so many programs that the children can get in college and historically black universities. And I wish they were put
Right.
in the school systems as well too for them to learn at a very young age. When I've interviewed guests on this platform, they would say, well, I started off in my school play. Bring more of those programs back in the school system as well, too.
Yeah,
Yes, you've got literature, you got mathematics, you've got all of these things, and put some dramatic arts in the school system as well, too, for the youth that is coming up to learn. They got to learn at a very young age about getting into acting or singing or dancing. You'd be surprised.
exactly. Like, let's make learning fun again, right?
Right, right,
And stop cutting funds for art classes and what else do they have? Fashion
right.
classes. Stop cutting these babies' funding.
No, no, we need it.
How
And we know it's there.
art
So
is
that's the
another way.
thing. We know it's there.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yes.
Now, what else I love about this program is that you organize, you get involved hands on within the
Hmm.
community, and you get other people involved in it as well too, which is important because parents out here who have kids are just like, okay, what direction are you going to go in? What direction are you going to take with your career? Because when they get up in their high school years, the next thing is college. What are you going to do with this? What is
Hmm.
going to be the next game plan in your life, in your career? What are you planning to do? And there are so many outlets out here that can help you with that. And this is an amazing outlet that can help you with it as well to Concrete Roads. So if you're looking to
Absolutely.
go into that next direction, definitely reach out to these ladies. You won't
Yeah.
be disappointed because it is very, very
Yes.
important. And what else I love is that you influence productivity
Mhm.
because they stayed so glued. I mean, I grew up with cousins and all we knew was video games, and we would sometimes go outside and play a little bit, and we would go right back to being on the video game. And I'm just like, you got to stimulate your mind in some way, shape, or form. And for me, I got off the video games years later, and I said, let me find a niche. And for me, that niche, I can't even hardly get it out, was fashion, was beauty. I love glamour. I love glitz and glamour, and that is something that I can't do without because it helped me a long way through everything, through my darkest times. And there are kids out here struggling with depression as well, too. Just sitting up in the
Mhm.
house throughout this
Yes.
pandemic has been depressing. And I know the kids are just like, can I go outside and play? And just like,
Hmm.
no, if you do. And they're talking about sitting at the time when me and Steph, when the pandemic was still going on. Now it's just like things have gotten back to normal. And they're stuck inside on those games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you have to get them out of that house. Like, get them out of the house, get them active, get
Hmm.
them moving. And I'm glad that the schools have opened back up so that they can learn as well too. And we need programs like this so that they can get out there outside of the games and get active as well.
Yes, I agree
Mhm.
100%. And that's concrete roads
Right.
100%. So,
Concrete roads. We're back on the concrete. Like
yep.
you have to be outside. Like you know.
And that's what we're doing.
Yes. So, Fashion Dolls, do we have any questions for these two amazing ladies here in Girl Talk? We talked a lot about family and making sure that you stay active and get involved in your community as well too. These ladies are doing the work and I'm proud of both of them. And it's important that we have something that we can fall back on. And we talk a lot about legacy here on my platform. So that when our kids go grow up in the world and they learn, they got to have something to fall back on. They got to have a
Mm,
legacy. And that is something that has been taught within my household as well too. Growing up with siblings, I'm glad that my mom let me and my brother and my sister let us all create our own creative path of what we wanted to do. He chose to go into the military. Now he's going to school. Me, I chose books and looks. I chose fashion and beauty. So, and hosting a talk show, that's something that I put a lot of energy to. So my mom always instilled in us that if it's something that you really, really want to do, if you're passionate about doing it, and that will be to the youth that is watching this
That's right.
program, because I have parents that watch Style by Stevie as well too. And they go and they watch this platform and they're just like, okay, we're taking the advice, we're taking everything, but what else can we do? Let them find their own path.
That's right.
If you're trying to get them to play basketball and they don't want to play basketball, let them decide. Let them
Yeah.
decide. Trust me.
Yes.
They have to
We see that
create
all
their
the
own path.
Mhm.
time. We see that all the time. There's a baby that he wants to dance so bad.
Mm.
He's been asking me for like a year, can I join the dance team? Can I join the dance team? His dad kind of thinks it's like a girl thing and he wants him to play football and basketball. And he does it, but he's like, I just really want to dance. I'm like, I
Mm.
wish I could change his heart, baby, but I can't. So we're going to pray that baby will be able to dance. But yeah, we need to let them do what they want to do. Let them try. Doesn't hurt to try.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And if that's not what they want to do, let them. The thing is, you have to let children experiment and do what they want to do, what they feel is right for them, because they're going to do it
Mhm.
regardless. Either way, you tell
Right.
them not to do, they're going to do it regardless. Let them
Hmm.
experiment. If this is something that they want to do. Let them do it. If they don't want to do it, if they try it the first time and they don't want to do it, let it be. There's so
Yeah.
many career fields out here that you can do. And dancing is not a girl thing. Dance makes people happy and is also great for mental health. You'd be surprised at the
Yeah.
amount of Black youth out here that struggle with mental health and
Hmm.
depression because they are sitting inside and not doing something that makes them happy. So when you
Hmm.
take that pride and joy away from them, take that in consideration as well too. Don't be selfish and let them find their own way. I know my dad did not want me doing hair growing up. So listen, I've always been the rebellious one. Steph can tell you, Tyasia, she's known
Hmm.
me for a very, very long time. I've always been the most outspoken one out of all of my siblings. Even from Live Me, you guys know me that I've been very, very vocal and outspoken. And I did things to the beat of my own drum. You have to let your kids be that way.
Yep.
You have to. Hi, Strange Mind, Dark Heart. Hey, baby. And hey,
And
Tiva.
I like what you said. Let kids do what makes them happy. We got to add
Right.
that into our little
You're
somehow.
right.
So thank you for that.
Absolutely, because if they're doing something that's going to make them miserable, or I love you too, I thank you for joining in this girl talk. We are here with Steph and Tyasia, who are the founders of Concrete Rose, and we are talking about children and ways that we can keep them engaged and focused on their career paths and journeys as well too. But I knew that sport. Yeah, I used to play sports. I used to play soccer. I used to do all of that. But I said, hmm, I want to do something different. So years later, I said I was going to take beauty school, and I took beauty school when I got in high school, got my license. So after that, it just took a liking to its own. And I'm thankful that my mom and my parents, they let me choose my own path, as well as my other siblings as well too. My sister, she's like an influencer, and she writes children's books as well too. And then my brother chose the military. He went in the military, and now he's going to school. My other brother, he's just sitting back chilling, going with the flow. And then I have another brother that's in New York working on his thing with the music. So I mean, it just each and every one of us have our own career path. And then my sister, God rest her soul, she wanted to do culinary arts. She loved to cook a
Mhm.
lot, and that was something that she was passionate about. And then you have the wild card out of the bunch. Out of all the siblings, I've always been the rebellious one, the wild card. And I've always kept people guessing, and I went to the beat of my own drum. I said, I want to go to beauty school. I want to do hair. I want to do makeup. I want to do nails. I want to do fashion. I love to make people feel good. And just turning
Mhm.
that chair around and letting them look in that mirror is something that brings me joy. So let your child experiment and see what they want to do with their career. Trust me.
Yep.
Throw them on a horse. It worked with mine.
Yep.
I love wild cars. She rides in the pro rodeo show now. Oh, see?
Yep. Exactly. Prime example.
Oh, and Strange Mind, Dark Heart, that was for me. Yeah, yeah. I've always been the wild card out of the bunch, whereas my siblings are more, how can I say it? They're more chill. I've
Hmm.
always been the one where you don't know what you're going to get with me. Again, Steph can tell you, she's known me
And
for
I
a
love it.
long time. That mystery. You never know, because I'm always plotting. I'm a Scorpio. So with us, you never know what you're going to get. And that's the thing. Expect the unexpected in this industry, in this business. You go, and me and Steph talked about this in the beginning before Tyasia got here, which was switch over. You
Hmm.
try one thing, you go on to the next. You got to move to the next career field in your life, and that's for parents out here as well watching as well too. Now, for the children that are all grown up because they're going in their college years and things, let them decide what their career path is. They want to go back to school
Hmm.
again or major in something else. Like Tyasia here is majored in so many things: criminology, criminal justice, and working within the system to help youth that is in the foster care system as well too. Get involved.
Yeah.
Find something that you love. There's so many brochures and outlets and classes that you can take out here
Yep.
to learn many things. You'd be surprised how much you can learn if you go out here
Hmm.
and do your research and read. I'm telling you.
Right. Yep. The
Mhm.
resources are there.
Hmm.
Let the little
You
ones
just gotta
choose.
be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Because at one point in time, my brother said he wanted to be a wrestler.
The rest of
uh,
that.
randomly, just when we were younger, we would always watch WWE. And
Same.
all of a sudden, he wanted to be a wrestler. And he'd have the belts, he'd have all of these things. But for me, it was watching the Dark and Lovely commercials on TV. It was watching my grandmother do hair in the kitchen. It was watching my mom take my sister to get her hair done. And I said, I want to do this. I
Hmm.
want to do hair. Now, at what age did I discover how to do makeup? I want to say middle school going into high school. But the makeup wasn't as trendy as it was now.
Hmm.
Now you can get the contour, you get the highlight, you can get all of these things. Oh my
Mhm.
God. But back then I had to find a picture for
Yeah, we
today's
didn't have
Thursday. I
that. We
wish I
had the
had to
one,
dig in the
two,
archive.
three. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you go back and you look from then to now. But Strange Mind Dark Heart also, she wants to know, what do you do in the criminal justice system, Taisha?
So I don't work in the criminal justice system, but I do work with the foster care system in New York City as well in different states like Nebraska and Los Angeles the through different organizations like the Center of the Study of Social Policies, which help youth in foster care and out of foster care transition and find homes and help them get on the right path. And I work closely with parents in foster care, aging out of foster care, understanding their rights and advocacy in the court system, as well as outside the court system and in their reality, in their regular life after foster care.
That's big. That's big.
Because it can be traumatizing for kids in these systems of foster care. It's just like they worry, am I ever going to find a home? Ever going to find someone who loves me? And I feel so bad for the kids that are in this system that do not have homes, that do not have loving and affirming parents out here to reassure them and steer them in the right path. So that's what both of these ladies are doing. Now, my girl Steph here, she helped raise $500, which was donate to a family of six, and this was during the pandemic
Yeah.
because a lot of people lost their jobs. I mean, inflation, a lot was going on, and then this year we had the writer's strike. I'm just like, oh Lord, what else is it? What more can it be? But
Mm-hmm.
she helped raise money for a family of six during the pandemic. So
Yeah, that was awesome. And that was a struggle in itself because, to try to put that together during that time where there was so many restrictions, it's okay, you can't rent out venues, you can't have this amount of people. People kept telling us, no, we can't do it. And me and Letitia at the time, we kept saying, okay, this is something that we really want to do, and people are going to tell us no. But we're going to keep going until eventually someone tells us yes. And eventually someone did. They say, yes, we were able to have this event. It was an art show. We had spoken word, and we were able to raise that money for that family. And it was awesome. It was a great feeling. So,
Strange Mind Dark Card says, you two are amazing. Have you helped build any policies or legislation? What do you think is the number one thing that needs to change in CPS? Mm.
mm,
So I would like I have a few things to say, but I do have to go in a few minutes because got to go get the kids. But I have helped change a few policies. One of the policies, one of the laws is that they cannot charge children that are runaways as criminals anymore,
mm,
because that was a thing. As well as right now, Lawyers for Children is working on unification because children are not unified with their families, even though that is supposedly the goal. And I recently, in Washington, D.C., we recently spoke with board members about funds for children and families after foster care, after programs have existed, which is usually programs go up to the age of 26, and then, excuse me, families are out on their own, which, a lot of families are still, learning. So we have pushed that to where families, will get funding and things like that. And then I know some people in Nebraska has passed Medicaid laws and
Yeah.
policies and things like that. So um, yeah, and then as far as the system, what needs to change in the system, honestly, it's the transparency. Just be honest. That's what Concrete Rose is here for. We want to be honest. We want to be transparent. We want to be consistent, because in systems, even in the school systems, foster care system, criminal justice system, these children see people all day, every day. But what matters is that when you see, say, for a kindergarten teacher all the way to 12th grade, you know that woman for 12 years, instead of rotating. And that's a big problem in the in the
mm-hmm.
foster care system. You have a rotating of caseworkers and social workers and things like that. So that's one thing I want, people to take away from that, is that we do want to be consistent, and, we want to provide resources and be transparent with those resources.
Wow,
And Strange
amazing.
Mind Dark Card, and she says, hell yes, that is important. Absolutely. 100%. Now, before we let you go, Tyasia, let everyone know where they can follow you. You've got Meet the Curlies, your blog. Tell everyone where they can follow you and check you out.
Yes, so you can follow me at Meet the Curlies. You can type it in on Google, will pop up. The website is meetthecurlies.wordpress.com. You can also find me on my poetry page, which is Notice Me with Poetry. You can find my poetry book on Amazon right now. She Was, But I Am by Thunder Love. And then you can find Stephanie and I on Concrete Rose NC on Instagram and on Facebook.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Fashion
It was
Dolls.
it was nice talking to you.
You too. You
I'll
too.
close out because I do have to go as well. Our babies are getting ready to get here. But if y'all want to follow me for my dance page and to see my babies, my page is Dance Steph. And then my team has a page which is Youth in Motion. I believe it's 2024. Youth.motion.2024.
All right, Fashion Dolls. And before we let you go, I'm going to give you the final word of the day, which comes from Billie Jean King. Champions keep playing until they get it right. We must continue to keep going. The marathon continues. Follow your heart, your passions, and endeavors. And this Girl Talk will be uploaded to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube. If you are not subscribed, what is you doing, baby? Please subscribe. Hit that bell so you'll be notified when new shows are uploaded. And this is show 557. So thank you guys
Wow.
so much for your love and support. Thank you so much. Yes, it
Thank you for
was
having
Straight
me.
Line Daughter. Yes,
Yeah, that was
my
dope. That was
condolences.
fun.
All
That was so much fun.
right, ladies and gentlemen,
All right.
it was good talking with you, girl. Make sure you text me so that we can catch up.
I will. Thank you for having us. Love you, sis.
Love you too, girl. And y'all take care. I will see y'all tomorrow. Rico King joins me. So take care, everyone.